Brother, so oh man, I'm muted. Am I muted? Are we muted?
My
We
man, now
good?
you coming in good. How I'm sound? How do I
Okay.
say? I'm good.
Salute, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm all good, bro. Am I coming in clear?
You coming in nice and clear, bro.
All
Actually,
right,
let me just
likewise,
turn
fam.
up. Let me just turn up my volume a little bit here. And you know what's funny, man? I'm sitting here and I'm like, all right, in case brother man has just got a little bit of traffic, I got him, we good. So for everybody, as people are coming in, I just shared the live from YouTube with some of my people. So we'll see who comes through. But either way, we're gonna have some fun tonight. But for everybody who hasn't seen it and you don't know what's going on, we're gonna hit you with this right.
We're having a conversation to push a movement of understanding, and that's it.
I'm trying to be a better father. Worked on myself. I've gone to therapy. I'm still going to therapy.
We just want understanding, and we're just standing in the gap for men that have been suffering in silence.
Over here, specifically, first, this space over here being a self-improvement space for men, geared towards men, especially young men from the ages of 13 up.
Yeah. That's why
man,
we're
straight
here.
fire, bro. Straight fire, man.
That's why we're here. And you know what? I think we might just, build on simplicity as we go through. Because, as any news show, a lot of people some people will be late, and especially for brothers, it's, sometimes, especially in the YouTube space, when they hear, hey, there's a new safe space for brothers, they don't know what to take about it. They don't know what they can throw at it. And, we're gonna build off that. We're gonna build off that. If y'all don't know by now, this is the QOC Network. I am your host, Conrad. This is our other host, Coach Chris Hansen. Salute. Hey, brother, you gonna have to get used to me a little bit on this side because I'm down with. I got my sound effects loaded.
Get it in, bro. Listen, man. Listen. No, bro, I echo everything that you said, bro. Like, this is about to be an exciting time for the brothers. You know what I mean, man? You got to get up for these types of things, man. And yeah, it's a new show, but I really feel you, though, bro. As time go on, as we continue to build, more and more cats are going to come in because they hear, like you said, the safe space. Yeah, bro. So now, listen, I appreciate you for being here, bro, and just, what you've done behind the scenes, getting this joint up and running. Yeah, bro, we about to have a good time, man. Yeah, bro.
Oh man. You know what the funny thing is I was coming home today and as I was putting the last ad together, and I was like, I'm looking at it and it's actually a whole production. I'm gonna save it where it is, and I'm gonna send y'all a copy. Like, it's actually a production, bro. So I'm actually kind of glad we didn't get it out today. Because it's actually a production. It might be something that we can start off the next show with. And when we chop it up after the show, you'll see what I'm saying. But yeah, man, this kind of all started for y'all who don't know. I mean, I was wrestling, as they say, with the Lord a little bit on this side of Canada, and in trying to make sure that I stayed true to the task that God gave me, but what I felt in my heart, which was from the Real podcast, reaching young men and men in general between the ages of 18 to God knows however, 50s, 60s. If you found some inspiration, some light, some healing in what I was saying and what God laid on my heart, I was like, okay, let me just do what God's telling me to do and run with it. And struggle in 2024 because turning 40, not having my daughter, I felt displaced as a man. I'm going to work every day. I'm seeing the family. I'm seeing friends. I got my godchildren, but I'm displaced now towards the end of the year, to the point where like everything just came to a halt. And I was sitting down, and it wasn't until about October, and a brother reached out to me. He said, "Man, how are you doing?" And I said, I don't even have like a vest of armor right now. I'm broken. I don't know how to move forward. I can't go backward. And there's nothing to the either side of me. And I don't know
Yeah.
what to do. And this is not a matter of life is falling apart at home and marriage is falling apart. Like, this is just a moment where, as a man, I feel like I probably should have a stance, and I don't got it. I don't have the energy. And brother, it was funny because he was like, we prayed, we sat, we talked, we both kind of let things out on the table. And he was like, no matter what happens, we know who brought us to this table. It was God. I was like, all right, I hear you. Day by day, we start building on that, getting more confidence. We break through into 2025 now. And ending of February, we have another sit down, and we sitting there, we talking, and we encouraging each other. And I literally looked at him and said, brother, I understand now why I felt like I had to come to a halt in 2024. And he goes, why? And I'm like, because I was trying to do something with what God gave me, but I was trying to do it my way. And so I couldn't move forward, even with all the energy and all the great ideas I thought I had, because I was kind of mucking up the lines. I wasn't looking at the path for what God had set down. I was looking at it according to how I wanted to move forward. And as we started building, we prayed that night. The next day, Chris, I saw the flash for QOC. When I say never touched your page,
Yeah.
Akila's page, Egypt's page, J. Marie's page, I didn't touch nobody's page. I'm sitting there and I'm praying to God. I'm like, God, make the connections with the people that I'm supposed to connect with at this time. I'm like, I don't know how to make these connections. I don't know who to reach out to. I don't know how to put it out there. I don't know who to message in on Facebook. I don't even know if anybody's going to want to see this little old brother from Canada. God was just like, yo, don't worry about this. I got it. And I was like, God, how you going to connect me for real? I was like, God, let's have a bro to bro conversation.
Yeah.
At no point, not to spin on the title, but I was like, hey bro, like, talk to me. Let me know what's good. And literally the next day, I saw the QOC, and I immediately just started liking everything y'all put up. I was like, I was like, Chris, the funny thing is I saw you, Chris, and I saw your page, and I was like, yo, he reminds me of my uncle.
Oh, it's crazy.
Your disposition, your style, just what I was able to pick up off of your Facebook page. I was like, yo, he actually hits me like Unc. Like, I feel family right now. And I'm just like, man, this is weird. This is weird.
I love it, bro.
But I just kept liking. And then I didn't realize that J. Marie and E Black had a show. And I encountered E Black on when I had just popped onto the scene about podcasting and getting into YouTube. I encountered him on another platform, and I called him. I called his name wrong. I thought it was E the Black. It was just E Black.
Yeah.
And he, in love, he corrected me. He's like, "Nah, man, it's E the Black." I was like, "All right, cool." And we just kind of went from there. And Egypt, message. She put up a post, and I was just like, "Hey, like, we should talk." I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't know why I was even messaging her. She messaged me back, and we chopped it up, and we had a good conversation, probably a lot longer than she thought. And bro, she was like, everything that I was saying and what God had laid on my heart, to do through this podcast medium on the Real platform. She was like, we have been praying for this over on QOC. We have been talking about it. It has been in plans. And I was like, okay, forgive me if I say I don't know where I fit in, but I don't know where I fit in. I was like, I don't know why, I don't know what this is about. I don't know what the connection is. And she said, nah, you're an answer to a prayer. And that's all I needed to hear to confirm what I was supposed to do, the energy that I was supposed to bring. And when that happened, it was just go. And I told her, we prayed that night after that conversation. I told her, you family now.
Yeah.
She said, no, I hope you know your family. And I got to introduce you to the rest of the family.
Look at that.
You know what I mean? And so the reason why I brought that up is not just to introduce people to kind of like how we build this connection and where we're coming from, but it's also to kind of build off what you were saying that's kind of been ringing in my head all week about, you not really, when you were in Dallas, not really grabbing a hold of your purpose and then kind of moving forward from there. So that's what brought this whole partnership about, man. And I'm glad for it. I'm glad for it.
Oh man, I love it, bro. So man, listen, man, you talk very good, bro. I'm over here. My spirit, man, is like jumping. I'm gonna start out with the unk part because you said I didn't know you was 40, bro. You 40?
Yeah, I'm 40.
I didn't know that. I'm 38.
Okay.
Yes, I'm 38. But it's funny because see, fam, I get that all the time. People call me unk. And I guess they think I'm like in my feet. No, I mean, I look straight, but yeah, I guess because like you said, the disposition, the way I carry myself, people think I'm much older. I'm like, no, I'll just turn 38. But that's a good compliment, fam. Bro, everything that you said, and it's crazy enough because I was just on a men's meeting and we were talking about purpose and the power of purpose and how God just aligns everything up once you accept that calling, bro. And that's what you did right there, man. I know we about to get into the Dallas piece, but man, I salute you because see, this is my first time hearing this story. Yeah. I didn't know all that was taking place in your life, but bro, when you align up with God's purpose and what he has for you, and like you said, you get out the way, you think you got a certain way you want to flow, and God is like, no, I need for you to go in this direction right here. Everything just aligns up perfectly, fam. So yeah, the Dallas piece, I didn't even know we was going to talk about that, but yes, man, I love my hometown. Beautiful people, family is there. It's lovely. But for me personally, it was no growth there. Like I was just going to stay stuck in a place, comfortable. You know what I mean? Everything was at, arm's reach. I didn't have to like ask for anything. Like I really lived like a quote unquote king. Hey, bro, it was lovely. But the thing is that, like I said, purpose. When God, that I thought I moved up here for my wife. She's from Boston. Okay. So let me make it make sense. She's from Boston.
Salute to the queen.
Yeah, man. And originally, I thought there we go. Originally, I thought that's why God took me from Dallas and moved me to Boston was because of her.
Right.
She was just a vessel. She was just a tool. Come to find out, God moved me up here because he was like, son, I got a purpose for you. You weren't going to get it in Dallas. I need for you to move out of your comfort zone. And I need for you to come up here and do my will, live in purpose, live in all of that good stuff like that. And it just wasn't going to happen in Dallas, bro. And so with all of that, and I tell people, I moved up here when I was 29. And on paper, that's a man. Bro, I didn't become a man until I got up here at 29, 30, 31. That's when I finally became a man by stepping out of my comfort zone and operating in purpose. It was growth. It was hardship. It was learning experiences that I probably wasn't going to get in Dallas. Basically, man, I found me. I wasn't going to find the real me in Dallas. I found the real me by leaving my bubble, my comfort zone. And yeah, bro, that for the most part, that's it, man. And I'm grateful because the person that I am today, it wouldn't have happened if I would have stayed in Dallas, bro. And and my story is connecting up with you and what you had going on with your experience, man. The Conrad of today, the real, it wouldn't be what it is today if you didn't experience what you experienced. and now you're operating in purpose. And bro, you already know how I feel about you, man. You're going to touch millions upon millions as long as you continue to flow in this pathway here, man.
Hey, man. And it's funny, even as we saying that, because on the other side of this too, and we just had this conversation last night, and I'm going to big them up. I got some family members in the building from the other side of YouTube. And this is, you know what I love about this? I got to hit this again. I got to hit again. This is a big family to family connection. QOC has a partnership, and the Real Podcast is partner with QOC, but we in the family. And I got some other family members, they in the chat right now, and I salute y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here. Got my brother, Intellectual Soapbox. Thank you for being here in the building. It says to salute to Conrad, salute to Coach Chris. We got he's saying salute to the QOC network. That's how we do. Anytime you see them, they always gonna be salute. My sister, oh my goodness, a queen in her own right. Let me salute to her. Chocolate Earth Foundation. I love you, sis.
Love it.
Blessings to you. And we so glad that you over here joining in and supporting us on the QOC network. If y'all be so kind, get the likes, get the subscribe, share the link to a family member, share it to a brother. And as we go through this conversation, this is just the debut. So me and Chris are learning each other. Y'all gonna vibe out with us. Y'all gonna rock with us. And if there's any questions, put it in the chat as we go along. And you know what, Chris, as we're going, I'm actually put the banner up so everybody can see it, and we're staying right on topic tonight. So where you came from, we're gonna deal with that. For the people who can't see it, or if you can see it at the banner, it says, "What is the purpose of a man?" What is the purpose of a man? And so before we get into that, we kind of. Let's chop it up. Let's a little bit of barbershop talk. Hey, LeBron James, Luka, they get. I mean, they get a little beaten. They get a little beat. They got a little spanking.
They got a lot, bro. They got smacked, bro. They got smacked, man.
I'll try to be nice. Braun, I was trying, even though I got this Jordan symbol hanging from here, Braun, I salute to you. We born in the same month. We 3 weeks apart. So salute to you, old man Braun, for running up. But yeah, I can't lie. Chris is right. I was trying to be nice about it. I was really trying to be nice about it, but they got mollywopped. But how much could we really expect from recovering Luka? Because he out of shape. And he's not fully healed. I don't know what he's going through as his regiment, but I didn't see, and when the trade happened, I didn't see anybody coming over that was fully healed. I think he did that when kind of like when you're coming down from an injury, you got to do some aspect of heavy cardio to get your body moving so you don't get stiff. I think that's what he did. And he did what he could do. Did they try to push the foot on the pedal a little bit and push that gas? I think so. But I know you see after that, after they tied it up, did you see how Braun looked? Especially for us as black people, when we are flustered, like when we're gassed and we turn purple. If you go back, I should have clipped it. Braun was purple.
Oh, that would have been dope. Yeah, he was out. He was matching the jersey a little bit.
Right? He was like, all years we've been watching this man play basketball, I ain't never seen him once take an interview and be honest.
Tough.
Yeah,
that was tough.
You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, okay, Braun, like you real tired now. Like your age on your body show, like you can't just turn it on like you used to before. And I hope they have a good summer. But the young bull, Anthony Edwards.
Oh man,
he is something exciting.
He is, bro. Very good for the game. Mans is on it. Play both ways, offense, defense. Dude is a straight killer. From what people are saying, so it's too early for the stretch, but I get it. They're saying he does have the traits and the skills and the characteristics, the demeanor of Michael Jordan, a young Michael Jordan. And I'm like, I could see that a little bit. So yeah, he's out there with it, bro.
And you know what's funny about that, right? Because a lot of people, when they have the talk about LeBron James and versus Michael Jordan, who's the GOAT, like I'm an 84 baby. I was born the year Michael Jordan got drafted, right? I didn't start watching basketball until I was about 5 or 6.
Hmm.
And then when I picked a favorite player, I was 7, and that was Michael Jordan. But I was also young enough to see Penny Hardaway play in his prime. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
solid, bro.
there's,
Solid.
you know what I mean? I was there with Sean Kemp in his prime before he got injured. You know what I mean? So I got to see certain cats like really play, especially with Michael in his prime, or and in certain spaces that he was in. And you see what you just said about the demeanor of Anthony Edwards? That is
Yeah.
the biggest thing that people don't understand that really separates a Michael Jordan from a LeBron. It's not about who's perfect, right? It's about who almost demands excellence come out of them.
Hmm. I agree.
You know what I mean? Like
I
Michael
agree.
Jordan demanded excellence come out of him. And there's people who didn't like him, but the people who could stand up to Michael Jordan on the court, like it's a different mindset, right? And
Let's
as
see.
we're building,
Come on.
it's a different mindset when I'm pulling excellence out of myself, but I'm going to challenge you because I want the excellence about you that you don't
You
know
talking
that's in
good.
you.
You talking good.
Like so, and I don't know how you want to do it tonight because right now I feel a flow, and like as we're talking about what the purpose of a man is, and I'm thinking about that, even what you said earlier about the power of purpose. When a man is intentional, when he's focused, right? Even if he can get around brothers who are more focused than him and they can help to route his ship. You ever notice that when you get around brothers, they don't even, especially if they recognize talent and ability in you, they don't want you to run too fast. And if you're
Hmm.
trying to run fast, they want you to dock your ship for a little bit. I never
Hmm.
understood that when I was younger. Like even as we're talking now, it's just getting revealed to me now what that's all about.
See, there it is right there. It's what double back. So we got on the whole Luca Laker
Braun.
thing. You
Yeah.
see, yeah, Bron thing. You see my post earlier, and I made a
Yeah.
statement about the Dallas Mavericks fans. I'm like,
Yep.
bro, y'all real fake, and I don't like that. I get it. You know,
Mhm.
Luka was that dude in Dallas. People didn't want to see the trade, but I mean, I understood why the trade was made. Luka, as dope as he listen, his mindset isn't there. Like you said, the conditioning, out of shape, not balling like he need to be balling, etc. He's not doing it right now. I seen it
Right.
in Dallas. He's brought that same trait, that characteristics over to the Lakers. He's not balling, man. He's not doing it. And
Right.
and to follow up with my statement on Facebook, I said Kyrie Irving, his leadership, his mindset. He was the one that got Dallas to the championship. Kyrie wasn't actually Robin. He was the Batman. Luka was actually the Robin. And so when
Mhm.
you talk about mentality, I mean, he wasn't compared. Kyrie isn't compared to Jordan, but he has that Mamba mentality, like Kobe. He has the mentality, and so that bro. The mindset is so powerful, fam. And so when we're talking about a man's purpose and everything that's engulfing, when I think about purpose, when I think about manhood, when I think about as men, how we need to flow in purpose, bro, the first thing that comes to mind, when you're talking about the mindset, but the first thing that comes to mind with me, man, is well, you did say stewardship. I would say the servant leadership, the servanthood. First and foremost, when I see Kyrie last year, when they lost they lost in that championship game, Kyrie's mentality at the end, it wasn't that he was gassed. It wasn't, of course, he was disappointed. He wasn't crying, but he went over to the young bucks and he showed them love. He patted them on the head, patted them on the shoulders, and told them it's gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine. It's all to the
Right.
good. And
Right.
so that right there, bro, that's servant leadership right there, all day, every day, man. And so when it
Mhm.
comes to manhood, when it comes to purpose, bro, it's servanthood all day. Cats don't want to hear it when we talk about men being the head of the household. Automatically, dudes talk about, oh, I'm a leader, I'm this, I'm that, in the third, and I
Mhm.
get it. But first and foremost, fam, man's purpose is servanthood. As men, is serving. is servanthood leadership at the end of the day, bro.
Right.
It's all about serving, man. That's the
Right.
mindset right there. Having a serving mindset. Serve your wife, serve your family, serve your community. That's it. And it's not in a bad way. Servanthood, not in a
Right.
bad way. Yeah, not in a bad way. It doesn't make you lesser than anybody. It actually makes you the top dog, because you got people looking forward to your vision, your visionary as a
Mhm.
man. And when you have purpose, you got to have vision out here, bro. And then when it comes to
Facts.
that vision, you got to be able to serve that to your family, to your community. That's when you get people following you. So when you serve, people follow. Now you're in a leadership position when you're serving your people, man. But go
Mhm.
ahead and have at it, man.
You know what's funny? We can just straight build, because as you're talking and as you're releasing, I'm literally, things are coming to my mind even about me that I know I haven't thought about prior. And I'm a very introspective person, like bad or good. I like to take time and move away from inward outward Conrad and look at Conrad outward inward. And the reason for that is because I need to be able to see how I'm operating and assess myself from the same way that I would assess somebody else. And as you speak about servant leadership, you know, let me phrase it like this, or let me take it from this angle, I should say. When we talk about leadership, leadership is scary.
It is.
Leadership has a weight,
Mhm.
and it's a crown that is built by a double-edged sword. Because if you handle the crown incorrectly, as it's falling on anybody else, it can damage you too. And so oftentimes we try to find a way to navigate the leadership role, and we're getting cut. And in some cases, it's almost like we either, and I don't know, maybe I'm speaking from a self-reflective place, but I know there's times when I've accepted the servant role because I was getting cut too much trying to handle the leadership role.
Mm.
But it wasn't until I got down into servantship that I was actually able to care for and lead without leading, because all I wanted to do was serve. And again, it's kind of like understanding how to, again, that Kyrie movement. Don't worry, guys, we gonna be all right. I didn't really start even playing basketball. I didn't really start understanding the game until I understood that I don't have to score every point on the court.
There you go. That's good.
I need to be ready if my team looks around and they don't know what to do. I need to show them I've got them by being able to flip that switch and turn into the best version of Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or even a LeBron James that I possibly could. And I've got to dominate, not for me. I've got to dominate for my brothers, but with my brothers. That's a whole different level of operation right there. And it took me years to learn that. And by the time I did get to a place of understanding it, I didn't want to step out of it. And so much so to what we call leadership outwardly, when I look at that, I'm like, no, what we profess as leadership is dictatorship.
That's it. That's it.
Because if you are leading, right? Like I even looked at this whole week. We just had an election process up here in Canada. It went horrible. I don't like, I mean, it's not a politic talk, but it went horrible. And it
you don't
went
even want to touch that
horrible.
one, huh?
I really don't. But it went horrible for the same reasons that in the States, the Democratic Party, their campaign went horrible.
Yeah.
When you try to lead from a place of fear mongering, everything will fall apart.
Every time.
Every time. And so that aspect of servant leadership
it's the ability to extrapolate, to pull from people and to say, look, I'm not even trying to be better than you. I just want you to stand shoulder to shoulder with me. I will be happy if you stand shoulder to shoulder with me. I will be happy. You could be taller than me. You could stand before me. You could stand up.
Mm.
You could be overshadowing me. And I'm completely fine. Because guess what? It's not about you towering over me. It's about you standing. And so I started realizing, and even within the last, say, like 6 months, if I look backwards from October to now, coming purpose and the power of purpose is aligning with understanding how God allows us to be powerful. Pardon me a moment. Let me just turn this off.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't lose your thought, brother. You said something extremely good. Extremely good. Don't lose your thought. I'm gonna be real quick.
Go ahead.
You said
Go
I don't
ahead.
have to score every point. No, you said I don't have to score every point.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful, because I want everyone to catch that. Although you got your Michael Jordan hat on, you could drop 60. You got your Kobe hat on, you could drop 60 whenever you want to. But the servanthood leadership part, you like, okay, I don't gotta. Being a good leader, a great leader, is knowing that you got a person that can't. So you got somebody else that can drop 60.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what you want to do? You're gonna put up dope assists. You're gonna play defense. You're gonna instruct these other people to get in their position. That's what servanthood. That's what servant leadership does, man. When men operate in purpose, the mentality, it's all coming together. It clicked when you just said that right there. I don't have to score every point, but what you're going to do is you're going to put people in proper positions on how we can win the championship game. That's it right there, bro. That just stood out. Go ahead.
No, 100%. And it's actually something that actually I kind of wanted to throw up a contrast, or, you know, kind of build a picture on this and what we're talking about, because if there's power and purpose, then how can we, because as Black men, we have to, and I don't want to say this from to use a lack of a better word. I don't want to use this word and just throw it out there as a buzz term, but we're not a slave for our community. But there is a responsibility that we Black men have in our community. And I feel, because in Canada, this is very passive aggressive, right? So how they move, how systems, mindset, structures, marketing, and advertisement moves up here is more is it's a subtle approach of you get ahead for you, and if you have the time, turn back and look at somebody else, not some people, somebody. Right. And it's very subtle in how they feed you this. So they get you desensitized to the emotional weight of your own community. Now, fortunately enough for me, my grandmother, traveling back and forth to America, you know, every summer, having your sister that when they came up from Jamaica moved to America, and we going down to the Bronx to visit Auntie Shirley, God rest her soul. I was exposed to certain truths and hardships from an American lifestyle, and especially and so as I grew older, like I wasn't even really big on rap. I didn't start even listening to rap until the year that Biggie and Tupac were removed from this earth. And that was annoying to me. And ever since that day, I've been on a journey to find out like who's really the mastermind behind us. I've been playing chess with that whole drama since 96.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm not playing no games with nobody. There is no fluff. I see the chess pieces. So if anybody wants to have that conversation with me, please go study that whole case file, because I'm going to hit you with the hammer. But what I want to say is this, and what I wanted to bring out is this, is the power of purpose for us as Black men in serving our community also comes with a weight of judgment. And I mentioned this last night because, and I'll reference this by referencing something I said earlier. When other brothers started to notice certain things in me, they would get me to a place where they would, as much as I'm moving, I'm shaking and baking, I'm moving, I'm flashy, I'm doing this, I got charisma, I can speak, I can do this. They would say, hey, bro, dock your ship just for a little bit. Let's rein in all of the abilities you have, because you can get so used to people complimenting you that now you have, as they call it, main character. You got a main character complex. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
about you and how you execute.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll form this in a question to you, but I want to draw this right now, because if we as Black men have this responsibility to help younger men or men in general remember that they have a purpose. They're created for a purpose. Even if they don't think it, they have purpose within them. Is it fair to say that a modern day Shannon Sharp, in all of his getting, has lost his purpose to why he would be in such a calamity now? Would that be a fair example of a loss of purpose, or is it wasted purpose or wasted talent? Because he's
So,
not, his life's not over,
yeah.
and there will be some redeeming factor somewhere. There'd be a cushion for him somewhere, but is for the Black man, and in this, as we try to navigate loving our community, defending our community, rebuilding our community, and claiming back our community, is a Shannon Sharp mindset wasted purpose? Is it wasted purpose? What do you think
So
about that?
I want to make sure I'm picking up what you putting down, bro. Or are you saying because he executed, he got his fame, he got his fortune, or whatever the case may be? Or are you saying that, and now because he ran into this issue, are you saying he wasted his purpose? Because did he? Or you saying he got his fortune, but he didn't get back, and now he got to this point where he has this legal issue, and now his purpose has just been like cut short. Is that what you're saying?
That is actually what I'm getting at. It's funny. It's funny how it asking me to clarify, but that's what I'm getting at, because and the reason why I brought that up is because we think that once we have, somebody else can even say we have accomplished something, that we're good and we can be good. But just because you're good doesn't mean your purpose is fulfilled. And so for Shannon Sharp,
okay.
and I made a harsh statement last night on another podcast, because when I'm talking about the Black community and I'm talking about that weight of leadership, I'm also talking about that weight of servantship to our sisters. And let's take color and just extrapolate this to all women, right? If we as men are leaders, but we lead by serving, do we serve not the person in Shannon Sharp, but the characteristics of self-sabotage? Do we serve those things notice? Because now think about this. There has to be a brother that can reach out to Shannon Sharp and almost like a David and Jonathan, David and Nathan, thou art the man type moment. You need a brother that's going to be able to at least say, I know your faults.
Mm-hmm.
Your journey's not over, but you did capsize your purpose. Is executing that type of judgment in love, can it redeem a Shannon Sharp? Can it redeem a self-sabotage and help to align somebody with their purpose? What does that look like?
I would have to say without question, absolutely. There's some redeeming factors there. It's still purpose there. Someone put in the chat, until his last breath, he still has purpose. And I would even say, even with this issue that's looming over his head, it's still purpose in that, because someone can look at that as a teachable moment. And I've been big on that. I'm like, brothers, use wisdom in this case right now. If you're a Black man that's in a position of power, or just a man, period, you got to use wisdom. You got to use discernment. You got to use better judgment. Don't be out here loose with it, because
Mhm.
the enemy is working.
Yeah.
He's gonna put something before you. It's gonna cause your downfall, and that's what we seeing right here. So yeah, until his last breath, he still got purpose. He can come back and redeem himself, just like when you started out with your story, just like when you was in a place, you was in a bad space,
Mhm.
and someone came along and gave you an encouraging word, and that picked you up and got you on the straight path. The same thing can be done with Shannon. Someone can come through, give him an encouraging word, and it pick him up and he get right. But however you want to flip it, and that's the beauty about purpose, bro. Like, it's going to happen one way or the other. So
Right.
until Shannon takes his last breath, he still has purpose, as long as he operates in that purpose. But at the same time, even in his downfall at the moment,
Mhm.
there's still purpose in that, because it's a learning lesson. Somebody's gaining some type of wisdom and clarity and a warning with this. It's like, okay, so, and don't get it twisted. Purpose, it comes from God. And when I say that's how dope purpose is, that's how
Right.
dope God is, because he can
Right.
use a terrible moment and make it a teachable moment.
Right.
So yeah, that's my piece.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll throw this up, and I'm big on transparency. As you see, the name The Real Podcast. God
Yes,
gave
sir.
that to me. I would, if I always, people always ask me how you come up with that name, or how come you didn't start the podcast earlier? I'm like, man, you know how much I wanted to start it at 2019, right when the
Mhm.
pandemic hit, 2020 when the lockdown hit,
Oh,
2021, 2022. Man, I was trying to get out there, and God was like, slow your bridges, young blood. Slow your
mhm.
bridges,
That
because
sound like Pops
there's
too.
some things I need you to soak in. I need you to really understand. But as we're talking about redeeming qualities, it's funny. Again, there's so many things in my life. You're speaking, and it's actually taking me back into a journey in my life. In 2008, long before I met my wife, long before I even knew I would have a wife, um, bro, I was homeless. I was out on the streets.
Mhm.
And during that time, uh, I was like, okay, I know I'm out here and I can't get no lower than this. But let me navigate a job. And I was dealing with a situation where I had ran into some legal trouble. I had a case pending against me. Um, Luckily enough, they looked at me and they were like, okay, you don't got bail. Like up here in Canada, instead of what they call bondsmen, the courts have what they call bail supervisor. So
Yes,
just
sir.
like they would give you a duty counsel or legal aid, a legal aid lawyer, they kind of have that for bail. So they put me on the bail program, got me out there. They were like, okay, you got to get a job. You got to relocate to a place. We got to have the address. We got to have the numbers. And they were like, well, why don't you call your grandmother? And I was like, yo, we Jamaican. There is no call grandma and be like, hey, I got to move back in with you because I'm dealing with a situation and I got myself in some trouble. They'd be like, I love you, but don't bring no trouble to my house. In other words, deal with your trouble and then come talk to me. And I'm still going to rebuke you, but I'll rebuke you in love and get some food for you. So long story short, I ended up staying in a shelter. It was about like me 5 months. The job I was working at the time, I ended up quitting the job. I ended up start running with some other street cats. And, we doing the do, we running up and down, mucking up the place. Certain times pop up and it was like a flash. God was just like, I got purpose for you. And I'm going to show you I got purpose for you because you're going to be the only one that's going to be able to think clearly in this moment to deal with this situation and keep all of y'all out of jail. I was like, okay, whatever. One morning, so I can hear the old church mother say it, and the old church elder say it. One morning, one Saturday night, one morning I woke up, man, and I was perplexed in my soul because I was just like, okay, I'm trying to build this life back together. September's approaching. Like we don't got no nice weather in September. When it hits cold, when they start saying it's fall, it is cold. Like you in Boston, so you know what it is. Bro, I wake up, and for months I haven't touched my Bible. Didn't even know I had my Bible in my travel bag with me. I wake up, God goes, yo, go get your Bible. I was like, what do you mean go get my Bible? I'm like, God, how you know what I got in my bag? I done searched this bag up, turned it outside 3 times. I ain't seen not one Bible leaf drop out. Go get your Bible. So I run upstairs now. Moving my Jordans, I don't see it. I'm right about to close it. I said, let me go back through the bag again. Bomb, there it is. Pick it up. I pick it up. I said, all right. I get out in the back of the shelter and I sit down on the table, and I'm sitting there, and now I'm quivering because I'm supposed to be the leader of the mandem. I'm the head honcho. And from what I know and my perspective, they can't come out see me reading the Bible, because then my leadership is going to be brought into question, because they don't care nothing about that. God goes, yo, turn it open to Psalms 51. I was like, no, God, I know that. David was crying for repentance. He was saying, purge me with hyssop. I was like, nah, I ain't about to do all that. God said, read it from beginning to end. Man, that was the slowest I ever read that scripture in my life. I'm sitting there and I'm reading Psalms 51. And as I'm reading, now all the crew starts waking up. And catch the joke. They used to call me Bishop. That was my street name, Bishop. They would come out and they'd be like, yo, Bishop, where you at? I'm like, I'm in the back. They're like, yo, Bishop, what you doing? Is that a Bible, Bishop? You reading the Bible? I said, yes, I'm reading the Bible. Anybody got a problem with that? No, man. It was all good. I just wanted to make sure you knew what you were doing. I said, I know what I'm doing. As I finished the chapter, and the man them come out to check on me, they're like, you all right, dog? I said, I'm good. They said, you sure? And I said, yeah. I don't know how y'all going to take this, but I need everybody to be back here at 5:30 p.m. They don't know. I'm trying to keep from them that God told me to tell them, everybody get their butts here, because I don't know how they're about to receive what God told me to tell them, because we've been ripping and running. 5:30 hits, they're like, all right, Bishop, we're here. What's good? I said, and I'm like, God, you got to give me the words, because if I start preaching to these fools, they're going to call me a hypocrite. They're going to call me everything. They're going to call me a liar. They're going to say, what type of drugs are you on? I'm like, God, give me the words. And this is you. You called them here. Give me the words to speak to your people. And I look up, and he has me just start naming off every one of their talents. You can sell dirt to a cockroach. Why aren't you in a college course? Why aren't you selling condos? You got family. Why are you out here? You tell me that your kids know who you are. Your wife, you're the mother of your child wants you to come home. Why are you out here? And God had me go around the whole circle. And out of the 11 of us, 3 guys said, nah, this street life is all I know. I ain't got a family to go home to. And I was like, nah, just walk with me. I don't even know where we're going. I don't know how we're going to get me. Just walk with me. They're like, nah, I respect what you're saying, but I got to do my own thing. And I said, all right, cool. The other 7 guys, myself, makes 8. We all listened to what God said that day. Now, we all went our separate ways. And this is the power of purpose. If I had not yielded to what God's purpose for me was in that morning, thinking that, nah, I'm just losing it. I'm so upset that I'm talking to myself. If I didn't have 2 cents to understand that there was nothing about me, that anything that was said that day, that I wanted to actually carry it out. Me, Conrad, wanted to carry that out. I would have missed the purpose, and it would have ended my life, and it would have ended the life of 7 other men. Mm-hmm. When I moved back out of the depths and we got out, because we all left that shelter at the same time, I actually watched these guys
give up the streets, go back home to their families, go back home to the mother of their children, go back home. We all packed our bags from that shelter and we left that day. Nobody took a number. You see, like, this is the power of purpose, because purpose always confirms itself too. And that's the thing.
Ooh, man.
Purpose always confirms itself. And the reason why I phrase it like that, because purpose doesn't come just because we have nothing to do and we just all of a sudden got an idea to do something. It doesn't matter whether we feel we believe, whether we know how to pray, whether we don't know how to pray, whether we think it's all related to a building and brick and mortar church. No. Our purpose was built into us. Jeremiah says, what? Before I formed you in the depths of your mother's womb, I did what? I ordained you a prophet unto the nations. In other words, you're a messenger that's going to be ready to speak change and a strong message at any given time that I appoint you. And it's not for you to dictate the terms of the message. It's just for you to deliver the message, because the message in its purpose will deliver you. Bro. 3 months later.
That was, oh man, straight fire.
3 months later, where I moved and thought I would never see these guys again. I get on the bus. I'm going to upgrading school now. I'm upgrading my credits. I'm getting back in. I'm getting in the gym. I'm dealing with my grandmama. We cooking. We vibing. I'm wearing my phone. And who do I see on the bus? Hey, bro, what you doing in the side of? Yeah, you. Hey, I heard you that day, bro. So I came back home to my family, and they just happened to be in the same neighborhood that you live in. God bless you and your family. How's your wife doing? How's your kids doing? Man, they're glad I'm home, and I'm glad I'm home. It's not easy, but I'm glad I'm home. All right, bro, stay up. Taking the bus, I'm going downtown. I'm going to go shopping. See you next, man. Hey, man, how you doing? Yo, bro, yeah, I did enroll into college. And I've been selling condos ever since. So much so I was able to buy my mom a condo. Well, you mean you didn't get no record deal? You didn't go back to the streets? You didn't relapse? Like, I believed you were going to do what we all said we were going to do. But you mean like you did it and you didn't have to sell your soul? You didn't have to sign nobody's contract? You mean you just listened to the God's purpose for your life, and you were able to turn around and do more than you thought you were able to do when you were running the streets? Purpose in itself is the preordained message from God on our life. So much so that when we acquiesce to it, it can change where we're standing, and it affects and spreads out to the people around us.
That's good. That's it right there. Shout out to everybody that is on. Listen, we're talking about purpose. Y'all drop in the chat. What do you guys think purpose is? In your own words, what's purpose to you?
Yeah,
bro, that was good right there. I enjoyed that story. All of it was powerful. The one thing that stood out to me was when you said purpose is always going to confirm itself at the end. Always. Let me not even say the end, because it's a marathon. It's a whole journey when it comes to purpose.
Yeah.
But there are going to be them timestamps. There are going to be them moments where what you're doing is going to be confirmed. So what could be those confirming moments, man? Like, what are people going to be looking for? Riches? What are they going to be looking for? I mean, I know you just told a story, but what would they be looking for when it comes to confirming? Because I could feel somebody out there, they listening to your story. I get you, but it might be someone out there that's listening. They're like, okay, he said purpose always confirm itself. So what's the confirming piece? Is it health? Is it, riches? Is it, whatever? What could it be?
The first thing that purpose helps to that purpose yields, the first fruit from purpose is clarity. And it's clarity of mind. And it's clarity of mind to see around you. And that's hard to deal with, because you have to, when purpose reveals your surroundings and the current present state of things around you, it's not to judge you, but it's for you to actually stop moving. My grandmother used to say this, that prayer is the stop that will keep you going.
Mm, I like that.
Oftentimes we've been going so much and we're used to going in cycles of self-sabotage that we don't stop to see if we have a purpose. Are we in our purpose? Are we outside of our purpose? Have we thrown it away? Is it dusty? So when purpose really begins to start confirming itself, it confirms itself by giving clarity of mind. And it gives clarity of mind, or purpose confirms itself to give clarity of mind so you can take note of where you are. Because the reason why we need to take note of where we are is sometimes we feel like we don't have the tools or the intellect necessary to make the change we need to make now. And that's completely false. The problem is we might not want to accept the path that we have to take to align ourselves with our purpose. That's why purpose brings, in my opinion, purpose first confirms itself by bringing clarity to the mind, because you need to have that veil removed so you can see the path necessary to align yourself with the purpose.
I love it, bro. When I talk to brothers, whether it's a counseling session, whether it's on the street, whether we just vibing or whatever, and they're going through some stuff, whether it's depression, suicidal thoughts, anxiety, or whatever the case may be, one of the first things I always ask them, I'm like, are you operating in purpose? Are you doing the thing God called you to? Are you doing the thing that you love? When I was battling suicidal thoughts and battling depression, it was because I wasn't operating in purpose. I was not doing the thing that I was designed to do. I was not operating in the thing I was designed and love to do. And so when you outside of purpose, yeah, you're going to feel this, I would say, unnecessary weight, because you're out here moving and shaking and you're doing things that you're not happy with. I'm not going to knock nobody's 9 to 5 because that pays the bills. That's
Right.
cool enough. But it's more, for your own particular life, whoever's out there listening, is more to it than just that. They're punching in and punching out, going to the crib, maybe spending 30 minutes with the kids and the missus or whatever, and then going to sleep, waking up and doing it all over again. No. It's a design purpose out there for you. That
Right.
thing or things that's going to bring you joy, that's going to bring you some empowerment. So when I think about purpose, and the confirming piece that I think about is going to be that thing when you wake up, you're going to feel some empowerment because you know you about to go do that thing, man. Like you're going to feel some joy when you get up in the morning.
Yeah.
And so that was the very thing that got me out of suicidal thoughts and got me out of depression. God woke me up one day and he was like, yo, son, you about to crash out. You about to go over the edge. I need for you to snap out of this. And I need for you to get back to doing the things that I designed for you to do. I get it. You got to do it. You got to put food on the table. And I'm so proud of you for doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I did not call you to just do that. Yeah, provide for your family. But you got an assignment over here. You got purpose over here. And you need to do that. So once I got back to doing purpose, I was able to smile more. The skies was bright and blue, rainbows and all of that good stuff. It wasn't cloudy no more. But that's it right there for me, man. It's going to be a sense of empowerment every single day. It's going to be a sense of joy, even when the day sucks. Well, because you're going to be operating in purpose, it's going to be some joy within there, man.
Yeah. And you know what the thing is? Man. Those, just what you said right there. There have been times when I felt like I was stretched out, in terms of just stretching myself. I'm trying to make sense of it all. And the first thing I say is, I'm trying to do this. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. Why is this not paying dividends? Why can't this person say this? Why can't that say that? And it's just like, okay, is that part of the purpose? But the minute you start to kind of like just close ranks a little bit, say, no, okay, let me put this down. Let me slow down on this.
Yeah.
And it's not even that you regain time to sleep and take a shower and really enjoy the shower.
it's like you said, it's empowering. It's like, it is literally like fog gets lifted from your mind and you're like, yo, like,
Oh,
what was I doing before?
oh man.
What was I thinking before? Did food taste this good? Was colors this, man,
Come on.
bro, I remember, bro, there'd be days when I get out and I look at the summer sun and I'm like, yo, is blue really this blue?
Uh,
Like, this blue is a different blue. Like, you start seeing things differently. And it's,
oh man.
and for any brothers out there that suffer with and battle depression, take a minute. Just just 1 minute a day, wherever you can, whenever you can. Take a minute and just stop. Don't think anything. And yeah, if you gotta cry, cry. If you gotta just kind of
Mhm.
sit in silence, sit in silence. But just stop. Just don't do anything. And just allow yourself to release, because you're missing out on a whole lot. Purpose didn't come to put like a weight on you that is unachievable. It came to give you clarity. As Coach Chris just said, it comes with empowerment. And you know what? It's not after those two movements, you know what the great thing about purpose is, Chris?
What's
And
that?
this is what I've discovered, is you don't got to make the biggest step after you get empowered through purpose.
No. Nope.
You just got to be willing to take a step.
Hmm.
You become, and somebody put it in, somebody said it in the chat, that it humbles you. It humbles you. And not humbles you as in like it breaks you down and is woe is me. If I could lean on Paul when he said, I'm the least of the least, he was still doing great works. But the purpose of the work itself, he didn't want to entangle himself with the weight of that. He didn't want to take, dare I say, any shine from that and say, oh, you know, I am the work. I'm doing the work. I'm handling the work. Nah, he was just
Hmm.
like, nah, you know what I mean? Like, this ain't even about me. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's it.
operating in my purpose. I'm just here. I'm serving in my purpose. Man.
Oh, bro. I know. Because you bet. Oh man, the purpose is bigger than you, bro. The purpose is bigger than you, man. So yeah, you the least of the least, or whatever the case. It's just bigger than you. When we're talking about it's going to humble you, you see the broad scale of things, man. Yeah, you're going to
Yeah.
see that. You're going to feel that peace. Like my man said, the cloud, the fog is going to be lifted. And
Yeah.
when that fog gets lifted, like you see everything that's attached to you. And it's not to like bring any fear, but like I said, it's to humble you, man. Like this thing is bigger than me. And like you
Facts.
said, it was 8 other people connected to you walking in your purpose, bro. And that was so dope. You accepted the challenge, you accepted the word, and because you accepted it and you took, like I said, you ain't had to take no big step. You took a small step, not no disrespect, God, but you picked up the Bible, you read the
Mm,
scripture, and you gathered your brethren and passed along a message. We can all do that small. And I don't
yeah.
mean that in a not to knock it down, but that's what we're saying. You ain't got to go out here and generate $1 million and then go. No, just take one small step within that purpose and watch how it generates a massive outcome, man. I love it, bro. It's bigger than us, but go ahead, man. Oh,
Facts.
bro.
Now, you know what? I'm looking at the time because
Yeah, I know.
they tackling we all sinners, and we knew we didn't have a threshold, but we didn't want to go too much longer than this, so we're gonna press pause on this for tonight. And so, everybody look out for the post again. Subscribe to the QOC network. We got wonderful brothers, wonderful sisters that we're working with on this side, and as we build, we want your feedback too. And if you have any questions, definitely send us an email to the QOC network at gmail.com. Definitely, set it out to, hey, bro, you got questions. Doesn't matter who it's for, me, Chris, the both of us, none of
Gotcha.
us. It doesn't matter. Just if you need somebody to pray with you, hit us up. If you need somebody to talk, hit us up. If you want to ask a question and you want to remain anonymous, it is completely fine. You don't got to mention your name. Just throw that email out there. Let's connect and brothers, let's build.
Yeah.
Let's build. For the ladies that supported tonight, we love you. Get this to your nephews, your brothers, your uncles, your grandfathers. If they're tech savvy and they can turn on YouTube somewhere, we're gonna be right back, and we will make sure to get the schedule out for the next episode. Chris, any final thoughts?
Man, not too much, brother. This was beautiful. All I know is, man, is that great things happen when men get together. So you brothers continue to walk in wisdom and stay assertive. One of the things when it comes to Adam, I wouldn't say the downfall was, necessarily the I guess the sin, whatever the case may be, but all of that took place was because Adam was silent, man. He didn't speak up. So brothers, stay assertive, man. Like, get out there and get active, man. That was the Adam was not active. Adam was not assertive. I still feel like Eve, she caused the downfall, but Adam could have prevented it if he was active. So brothers, walk in wisdom, stay assertive, and get active out here, man.
All right. I love that. That's where we gonna end it. And you know what, brothers, come back next week and let's take a time to share on the next episode. How did we get active between this episode to next episode? What did we get active with? Were we operating our purpose, and were we not operating our purpose, or was it a struggle to find what our purpose was? Let's come back with those three. We'll make sure to clip it and get it out. I am your host, Conrad. We got brother Coach Chris, our other host. We salute to you. We love you all. We are out. God bless you and have a good night. Peace.
Peace.
I got to do this one time, though. Where's the music? Oh, no. Where's the music? Can't find the music. I'm struggling. Y'all bear with me. We out. Salute. So we out. Salute. Because we out. Hey, stay tuned next week. We're going to release the intro for the show. Salute. Peace and love. Share, like, and subscribe. QOC Network. Much love.